the black ring that made a general's hands shake. Picture this: a decorated military general, chest covered in medals, dismisses a young female sergeant with one brutal line. "You're too young to have earned anything real, sweetheart." But when she hands him a pen to sign her certificate, his eyes catch something on her finger. A simple black ring, and just like that, this cocky officer goes completely white. His hands start trembling. The arrogance drains from his face, like someone's pulled a plug. What could possibly make a battle-hardened general react like that? What does that ring mean? Right. Let's rewind a bit, and I'll tell you about Staff Sergeant Kira Valdez. She's 28 years old, standing in a packed military conference room at Fort Braxton. She looks even younger than she is. Yeah, uniform pressed to perfection, dark hair pulled back in a regulation bun, rows of ribbons on her chest that most people don't even bother looking at. To everyone in that room, she's just another junior soldier. Quiet. Forgettable. Invisible. The ceremony's one of those monthly affairs where they hand out commendations like they re-giving out biscuits. Officers are chatting about golf weekends, shuffling paperwork, treating the whole thing like a tedious chore they need to tick off their list. General Morrison, 50-something, with silver hair and a chest full of his own medals, is calling out names from a list without even looking up. Each soldier steps forward, gets their handshake, their well done, and shuffles back. Mechanical. Routine. Borin Kira's been stationed here for 6 months, working in logistics and supply coordination. Sounds dead boring, doesn't it? Most people reckon it's just a desk job. Safe. Easy. Nothing special. What they don't know, what they can't possibly know, is the weight this woman carries every single day. See that black ring on her right hand? Catches the light when she adjusts her sleeve. Simple metal band, no fancy engravings or stones, but that ring holds more meaning than every single medal in that entire room combined. Now, let me take you back to where Kira's story really begins. Small town in Texas. Dad's a mechanic, Mom's a schoolteacher. Proper working-class family, nothing fancy. Kira graduates secondary school at 18 and makes a decision that'll change everything. She enlists not because she's got no other options, but because she feels this pull, this need to serve something bigger than herself. Basic training nearly breaks her, but she's got this fierce determination that even the drill sergeants don't see coming. She pushes through, graduates with honors, and gets her first deployment. Afghanistan. Forward Operating Base. Chetman. She's 21 years old. Logistics team, managing supply runs. Coordinating with local contractors. Behind the wire, away from direct combat. Safe enough, right? For the first few months, it's almost normal. Wake up, check inventory, coordinate shipments. Eat. Sleep. Repeat. The routine's oddly comforting in the middle of a war zone. But here's the thing about war. It doesn't care about your job description. It doesn't care if you're supposed to be safe. War finds everyone eventually. It's a Tuesday morning in March. The convoy's heading back from a routine supply run. Sky's clear. Road looks quiet. Everything seems fine. And then, 3 seconds. That's all it takes. 3 seconds for everything to change forever. The IED goes off like the world's exploding. Kira loses hearing in her left ear, instantly. Shrapnel tears into her arm, leaving scars she'll cover with long sleeves for the rest of her life. But physical wounds, those aren't even the worst of it. Not even close, Sergeant Martinez. He'd been laughing at some stupid joke literally minutes before. That infectious laugh that made everyone smile. Private Johnson. He'd shown her photos of his newborn daughter that very morning. Eyes shining with pride. "Look how beautiful she is," he'd said. "Can't wait to get home and watch her grow up." 3 seconds later, they're both gone. The silence after an explosion is worse than the noise. You know, this eerie, terrible quiet, broken only by Kira's own screams for help that seems to take forever to arrive. She remembers crawling through the wreckage, checking each body, searching desperately for survivors, finding none. She remembers holding Johnson's dog tags whilst medics frantically tried to save Martinez, already knowing deep down it's too late. She remembers the guilt settling onto her shoulders like this impossibly heavy blanket that never, ever lifts. 3 days later, when she finally gets back to her belongings, there's something new. A black metal ring. Simple. No markings. Just sitting there amongst her things. Like it's always belonged. She never found out who left it. Someone who'd been through the same hell. Someone who understood. The Black Reaper ring isn't something you buy at the PX. You can't inherit it from your grandfather or order it online. There's no ceremony where it gets handed out. No forms to fill in. No time in service requirement. The ring finds you in your darkest moments, when death gets close enough to touch you, but decides to take someone you love instead. It's a silent brotherhood of loss. When you see that ring on someone's finger, you know exactly what price they've paid. No questions needed. Kira started wearing it that day, not as some badge of honor or medal to show off, but as a reminder that Martinez and Johnson deserved to be remembered, that their lives mattered, that their sacrifice won't be forgotten. Fast forward 6 years. Here she is, at Fort Braxton. To most people, she's just another young soldier with a quiet desk job. They see the uniform, maybe notice she's got some ribbons, but they don't really see her. They make assumptions. Too young, too inexperienced, probably hasn't seen any real action. They have no idea. So when Kira's name gets called at this ceremony, she walks forward with measured steps. General Morrison barely glances up. He's signing certificates, whilst chatting to his aide about weekend golf plans, treating the entire thing like it's beneath him. You're too young to have earned anything real, sweetheart. The words hang in the air. A few officers chuckle. Kira's heard it all before. Too young. Too small. Too quiet. Too female. The comment stings, especially today when she's here to be recognized for coordinating relief supplies to 3 different bases, ensuring hundreds of soldiers had what they needed to complete their missions safely. But Kira doesn't back down. She reaches into her pocket and pulls out a pen, extends it to the general. Simply hister. Almost nothing, really. The general looks up, irritated that she's interrupted his conversation. He reaches for the pen with the same dismissive attitude he's shown throughout. But when his fingers touch hers, his eyes catch it. That black band on her right hand. The transformation is instantaneous and absolutely terrifying. His face drains of color. Hands start shaking. The confidence evaporates completely. Officers nearby notice something shifted. This routine ceremony has suddenly taken a very unexpected turn. Where did you serve? The general's voice is completely different now. No more arrogance. Just respect, mixed with something that looks like fear. Forward operating base. Chapman, sir. Afghanistan, 2018 to 2019. Kira's voice is steady, though inside she's fighting back a flood of memories. She doesn't elaborate. Doesn't explain about the convoy, or the explosion, or her fallen friends. The ring says everything. Chapman. The general repeats the name, and Kira can see recognition working behind his eyes. Chapman saw heavy action during her time there. Multiple attacks. Casualties. Stories that made intelligence briefings, but rarely public awareness. The general sets down his pen and looks at Kira directly for the first time. Really looks at her. The dismissive attitude's gone, replaced by something that looks like respect, mixed with deep regret. How many? He asks, quietly. Kira knows exactly what he means. 2. What happens next is absolutely unprecedented. General Morrison stands slowly, chair rolling back. The entire room falls silent as he steps around his desk to face Kira. Everyone's watching now, sensing they're witnessing something far more important than any routine ceremony. The general reaches up and starts removing one of his own ribbons. A bronze star with a device indicating multiple awards. His fingers work carefully, precisely, like the action carries enormous weight. The room's so quiet, you can hear the tiny metallic sounds of the pin being unfastened. This belongs to you more than it belongs to me. He steps forward and pins the ribbon to Kira's uniform, right above her other decorations. His hands are still trembling slightly, but his movements are deliberate and respectful. I served at Chapman too. Different time, same sacrifice. I lost friends there as well. I should have recognized what that ring meant the moment I saw it. And then the general does something that simply doesn't happen in the military. He steps back and renders a perfect salute to Kira. A general saluting a staff sergeant. It's unprecedented, completely breaks protocol. But this moment transcends normal military rules. This is one warrior acknowledging another, one survivor honoring another. The salute holds for a long moment. Kira returns it with the same precision and respect. Then, one by one, other officers join in. The room's transformed from casual and routine to solemn and meaningful. Everyone understands they're witnessing something extraordinary. When they finally lower their hands, the silence continues. The weight of what's just happened settles over everyone present like an invisible but tangible force. "Thank you, sir," Kira says simply. But those two words carry depths of meaning everyone in the room can hear. It's not just thanks for the ribbon or recognition. It's gratitude for being seen. Really seen. For having her service and its cost acknowledged and validated. The general picks up her original commendation and signs it with deliberate care, taking time with each letter. When he hands it back along with her pen, his entire demeanor has changed from when the ceremony began. Other personnel start approaching Kira individually, offering handshakes and quiet words of respect. Word spreads rapidly through the building about what happened in that conference room. By day's end, Kira's receiving nods of acknowledgement from soldiers she's never even spoken to before. The Black Reaper ring still sits on her finger, still carries the weight of memory and loss, but somehow it feels different now. Not just her solitary burden anymore. It's recognized for what it represents. The isolation she's felt for years begins to crack, replaced by a sense of belonging she hasn't experienced since before. That explosion changed everything. Here's what this story teaches us. How often do we make snap judgments about people based purely on appearance? How many times do we dismiss someone as too young or inexperienced without knowing absolutely anything about what they've lived through? Kira could have easily been dismissed that day. Just another young sergeant at a routine ceremony. But that simple black ring told a story that even a decorated general nearly missed because of his own assumptions and prejudices. Real heroes don't always wear the shiniest medals or speak with the loudest voices. Sometimes they're the quietest ones in the room. The ones carrying scars you can't see. The ones who've lost more than they'll ever mention. The ones who keep serving despite the pain they carry every single day. The Black Reaper ring is a reminder that the true costs of military service isn't always visible. It's not in the medals or ranks or signed certificates. It's in the memories that never fade. The friends who never came home. The weight that survivors carry silently whilst continuing to do their duty. Next time you see a young soldier, remember this story, because you never know what battles they've fought, what losses they've endured, or what invisible rings they carry in their hearts. If this story's moved you like it's moved me, smash that like button and share it with someone who needs reminding that appearances can be deceiving and real courage doesn't always announce itself. Hit subscribe for more stories of honor, sacrifice, and the extraordinary people who serve whilst carrying burdens most of us can't even imagine. These are the stories that remind us freedom is unfree and why we must honor those who pay the price. Cheers for watching, and remember, always look beyond the surface to recognize real courage when you see it.